Gerhard Bloom, looking at the tyranny and the delusions of the social justice movement. I mentioned previously, actually I've been saying this for years, you might not care about the social justice movement, this leftist ideology, but it cares about you, every aspect of your life and identity. And now, actually it's been going on for years, they're going after your kids. They've had your kids since kindergarten, grade school, up through the universities. And why do we see this madness now? This is the first generation that's been set loose on the world, in the corporate world, the media, entertainment, that's been raised since kindergarten on this poisonous leftist ideologies, and they go in and they colonize institution after institution. And they start chirping about this leftist ideology. And in the boardroom meetings, what are we doing for Black Lives Matter? Well, that's not really our lane. You don't think Black Lives Matter? Oh, no, I'm not saying Black Lives don't matter. Let's get cracking on some kind of media campaign for this. Same thing with this trans ideology. This explains why you got Bud Light with having a man prancing around as a woman. He gets his image on a beer can. And you have Disneyland, DeSantis pushing back against this indoctrination, this sex and gender ideology in the schools, and Disney weighs in with its massive influence. It's $1 billion enterprise there, weighing in. It's none of his business what the public and the politicians are deciding for the state of Florida. And the latest fiasco coming out of Disney, and there's been a number of other issues, cartoons praising the virtue of reparations, for example, coming out of Disney. The latest shameful episode, there's a boutique in Disneyland, a Bibbidi Bobbidi boutique, that allows young girls to pretend they're princesses for a day and dress up, get dresses, and there's a guy in a dress working in this boutique. It is deeply offensive. And then, of course, all of this other Target selling tuck-friendly underwear. Well, Target, notwithstanding its tuck-friendly underwear for trans women, i.e. men, they're taking it in the metaphorical junk. Great. Leftists are weaponized and militant. And yes, they will stage boycotts of companies. They will refuse. They will try to shame these corporations. And for years, conservatives just, they just go in, buy the product, they don't say too much, and they carry on. But this stuff has gone so far and so fast, and it's so deeply offensive that people are finally pushing back. Yeah, and I love it. I think, finally, I know because I've talked to hundreds of people from I've spoken with doctors, teachers, students. The vast majority of people see this poisonous ideology for what it is, but institution after institution has been ideologically captured. And we have a chance to push back on this nonsense. Parents are finally seizing control of parent committees, teaching committees, school boards. People are voting with their dollars. This is awful. And why drag performances for kids? Have you wondered that? I've looked into this. And interestingly enough, RuPaul, the famous drag performer, he came out and said it. Yeah, he said the quiet part out loud. This is RuPaul. Drag queens are the Marines of the queer movement. And queer theory, here's as good a definition as any from Wikipedia. Queer theory is the lens used to explore and challenge how scholars, activists, artistic texts, and the media propagate gender and sex binaries. And its goal is to undo hierarchies and fight against social inequalities. The message is explicitly political. Yes, that's right. How the media and entertainment and education reinforced sex-based binaries. And of course, that's oppressive, right? So we have to liberate kids from this. And they have. The schools are now indoctrinating your child in non-binary and queer theory. It is happening. the gender unicorns for little kids, and school boards tell parents, oh, we're not teaching that. We're not teaching. Of course they're teaching that. And if you deny this, and I've had leftists deny it, this is willful blindness. This is on you. And yes, it's a moral stain on your character. Moral blindness is a moral stain. Like other cultural Marxist programs, this queer theory agenda sees our social norms as arbitrary and oppressive, notwithstanding the thousands of years that these norms have provided success and stability. Yes. Oh, no, they're repressive. And they want to throw it. Their aim is to throw out the oppressive, white, heteronormative, cis-dominated system. And you could toss in free markets as well, right? With a little bit of poo, like they've got a little bit of poo in their mouth, capitalism. Capitalism is what affords the generous social welfare benefits in Canada and the United States. Yes, it's capitalism. And so you have the Milwaukee Bucks. It featured a drag performance as part of its Pride Night festivities. And the Dodgers invited the Sisters of Perpetual Influence. This is evil. These guys dress in drag, in imitating nuns and performing very sexualized imitations of Catholic rituals. I'm not Catholic, but this is disgusting. And this is evil. And I suspect the Dodgers are going to take it in the junk, metaphorically, and they should. People should just stop supporting corporations that have been ideologically captured. Until these corporations wake up, the pressure should be unrelenting. And this is not to mention the drag queen story hours for children and the not so drag-friendly family shows. Drag shows for kids, highly sexualized performances by men dressed up as women. This cultural Marxism is cancerous, and it's eating away at the very foundations of Western civilization. And I mean that in all sincerity. No, this isn't alarmist. If you're not alarmed, you need to wake up and stop denying reality. According to MedNet, or MedicineNet, right? Besides male and female, there are 72 genders. 72 genders. Really? This is from MedicineNet. They must know. They're the experts. And yes, people actually pretend to believe this nonsense. It's a lie, and I adamantly refuse to accept a lie. I'm not parroting this nonsense. And you could take a flying F with your preferred pronouns. You don't get to prefer your pronouns. Your pronouns are your pronouns. Anyways, this ideology is incredibly destabilizing for children especially. It is destroying the lives and bodies of children with this poisonous queer theory and this gender ideology. It's awful. And if you want to get the truth, you want to stop believing this nonsense, I'll give you plenty of proof in my book, Deconstructing Social Justice. It's available on Amazon. It's not important because I wrote it, but the issues, they are important. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Bye-bye.